What up, y'all? I'm back. Told y'all I'm gonna be doing more lives because I ain't gotta edit them. You know what I mean? I can't edit them. You know, if I could edit them, I might, because I'll be kind of meticulous and hyper focused when I do things. I'm like, perfectionism. A perfectionist, yeah, suffer from perfectionism. But yeah, what up though? It's a lot of things to talk about. I'm gonna try to get back after this one. I'm gonna try to keep this one not, to a certain shortness, a certain distance, certain length, whatever, if applicable. Um, Among all of the things that are going on in the industry, the 50 and the Lobby Boys,
I told 50 he
the
ruined New York hip hop.
it's a lot of stuff. Let me just get to it. I ain't just circle around the block. So Ebro and the Ebro's in the morning. His show has been canceled. It's done so, and him and Rosenberg have been responding to the situation. Their responses have been rather aggravated, rather angry, rather, I mean, I could understand that this could be a sort of emotional thing, but they're having these conversations, they're having this dialogue, right? And they're saying some things that I don't know. I wanted to get y'all opinion on these things, right? Because I'm confused, right? Here you go. Let's go.
50 he ruined. I told 50 he ruined New York hip hop. He spun it back around on me talking about I ruined New York hip hop, and then all of his fans and fanatics ran with that. But first, it was 50 Cent who ruined New York hip hop. Y'all know nobody wanted to work together. People who was already popping in the city was like, everybody was hemming and hawing and soft shoeing because nobody wanted to work together because 50 Cent was so popping. So that's where that narrative comes from. Now, Rosenberg, if we were to really go through the documentation of the amount of opportunity given to New York rappers in my term or in my tenure at Hot 97, how do you think I would fare when you really grade it?
It's not even true that 50 quote unquote ruined New York hip hop, but he did it more than you did.
Not true.
Neither of you did, by the way. The
Maybe
problem
true.
was riding. And people want, oh, I did it again. It's people copycatting other people. And when New York lost its creativity and wanted to start sounding like the South, that to me is when things fell off a cliff.
That to me I have a problem with that right there, because as a rapper from New York, I have a question. Why do you think New York started trying to sound like the South? I'm gonna tell you why. It's because the radio, which was the most powerful tool for promotion, even in this day and age, when people talk about this internet era, they be like, you don't need the radio because you got all of this internet. Yeah, right. Nigga, when you driving in your car, before you turn on your music, before you select your music, you hear something on the radio. When you walking past stores in the neighborhood, the shopping areas, they're playing the radio. The radio is one of the, because it's subliminal. You don't get to choose it. It's subliminally programs to people into thinking that this is that deal. I didn't choose this. This is the mainstreamery. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, while the internet has done a lot and done wonders, the radio is still, even to this day, never. I'm not even talking about back when hip hop got twisted all out of proportion and all of this, right? What I'm saying is, even today, hip hop is still, I mean, the radio is still an effective tool of promotion. Don't nobody, you know what I'm saying? Anybody can make a video and put it on YouTube. Anybody can make a video or make a song and put it on the radio, on Hot 97. Power 9. No, that's a different sandwich right there. You understand what I'm saying? So to the people, when they see you there, when they hear you there in the mainstream platforms, that that's a stronger sense of cosign, a stronger sense of legitimization. You know what I mean? This is the real deal if it's on the radio. That's why the streets love K Slay so much, because he would give dudes an opportunity to be on the radio when the rest of the radio wouldn't, when no other radio wouldn't. You understand what I'm saying? So the reason, to get back to the point, the reason why New York rappers started trying to sound like the South is because the radio wouldn't play nothing but the South. It's like they got onto, they sunk their mitts into that Southern vibe and fun, and I don't know what instructions they got. Because it went from, we went from, gangster rap being a problem. You know what I mean? Everybody was mad at gangster rap. They trying to, they boycotted Snoop and the Tupacs and all of that, this, that, and the third. And it's believed by many that the powers that be kind of socially engineered us into gangster rap, right? So when that happened, right? Let's assume that did happen. You know what I mean? Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, right? But they were socially engineering us with crack and all kind of other stuff, right? But all of the stories about all of the record labels having investment stock, or having a vested investment in the prison systems. You know what I'm saying? They making money off of private jails and all this, that, and the third, right? So after gangster rap, I think 50 Cent was, probably 50 Cent, say Meek Mill was, like, I always used to refer to Meek Mill as one of the last of the rappers who rap like us. Never mind the flossy content, but I'm just talking about the hardcore image, the street image. You understand what I'm saying? Well, we rolling, you know what I'm saying? We rolling the way real G's roll, you know what I'm saying? It's you understand what I'm saying? About that action. After that, the softening of rap took over. We never really got to a part where we never really got back to a point where hardcore rap was mainstream again. Didn't feel like it. Now you had the drill sound and all of that, but that was still like regional. It was still kind of segmented. You understand what I'm saying? So when it got to that point, like, they had enough with gangster rap, then they tried to party us to death. You understand what I'm saying? Like, every song had to have a dance, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that was all that was working. You know what I mean? The South had it. I will admit that the South were doing great things with their opportunity. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we deserve that. Hip hop deserved to have more fun than violence. Now, as a nigga who not from the South, I only heard about the violence that was going on down there. You know what I mean? But it didn't blow up the way the East Coast, West Coast violence went, or the East Coast on East Coast violence. The New York. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, I was down there recently, and I'm gonna tell you something, B. If you ever find yourself at a club in Atlanta and they playing that, they having one of they take it back moments, they throwback Thursdays where they playing all of the early 2000s, and you catch niggas in there doing all the dances that we thought was silly back then. It's a vibe. I ain't even gonna bullshit you. When you see niggas swag surfing in a club, you wish your region had a dance like that. I'm just telling you. Anyway, but the industry tried to force feed us the party over and over and over. The party, the drugs, the, you know what I'm saying, the overstimulation, the over, just the OD. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was just it. That's what it's been. Niggas wouldn't play nothing else on the radio. It was okay. I mean, niggas literally was saying, it was a point to where niggas was telling me, people that I love, they was like, yo, you just gotta do a song, son, and make up a dance, do a song that niggas could dance to, come up with a dance to it. Niggas will still tell you that to this day. Because it became the formula. It became the perceived formula. Now, a lot of that might be, most of it is true, but what I do know is, in order to make a real hit, you need real money. And nobody was really telling us that. Nobody was really telling the artist that. You thinking you could go independent and all that. Even when you on a label, you thinking if you don't understand how the game work, you think you blew up off your talent alone. You didn't. It's a whole infrastructure and a whole business, and they are, you understand what I'm saying? They greasing the palms of the radio. They greasing the palms of the video. They greasing the palms of the studio. Like they got they own it. The label will own the studio and charge you for studio time. You understand what I'm saying? So the moral of the story is, what I'm trying to say here is, I don't like what they trying to say here. Like they kind of really just gloss past the fact, like, you know, first of all, Ebro told 50 Cent he ruined hip hop. 50 Cent told him he ruined hip hop. Well, who do you think is right? Do you think they both right? You think they both have a point? You know what I mean? Because I feel like as the program director of Hot 97, you got a lot of control on what hip hop is. This is one of the biggest regions. This is probably New York is still New York, regardless to who got what the hottest region in hip hop is. New York is still New York. And you got control over the ears of New York. And you didn't choose to play Duck Down. You didn't choose to play Little Brother. You didn't choose to play Wu-Tang. When whoever was, you didn't. You understand what I'm saying? 50 was just, in my opinion, he was just following the formula. The perceived formula. I mean, nobody in New York would give him a deal. He got a deal from a Detroit nigga who was signed to a California nigga. You didn't think Eminem was supposed to put his sound, was Eminem and Dre was supposed to produce some of the beats or something? You think they were supposed to all of a sudden be East Coast producers? So his sound was destined to be hybrid. To not sound like, you understand what I'm saying? The typical New York shit. So yeah, I just feel like that was scapegoaty what they was talking about. Hold on, he said here goes.
You really graded. It's not even true that 50 quote unquote ruined New York hip hop, but he did it more than you did.
How you figure? How?
Neither of you did, by the way. The problem was riding. And people want, oh, I did it again.
The problem was meat riding, he said. That was, you know what I'm saying? Who was doing the meat riding? You got rappers trying to save and change their life, come up out of poverty. You understand what I'm saying? They thinking they only way to do this. It wasn't promoted to them that we wasn't taught all of the other things we could do besides rap. It was rap, or you slinging crack rock, or you got a wicked jump shot. You understand what I'm saying? So niggas is fighting for their life to get out of these situations. And you showing us as the biggest radio in the world that this is the only, you need to sound like this if you want to get played here. What niggas supposed to do? I mean, salute to Rosenberg, because me and Rosenberg have always been cool. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, here I disagree with him. I never really knew Ebro. The first time when I first heard of Ebro, I think he was still in Atlanta. I didn't know who he was or whatever. I knew about him from some people it was some people who were from Cali that lived in Atlanta, and they was kind of saying he was on some bullshit then. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when he got to, so I mean, I probably looked at him through stained glass, through that lens. You know what I mean? For a while, I'm not saying he did nothing to deserve all of that, but if we're talking about this specifically, if you the program director, you bear some of the weight. That's all I'm saying. I mean, the program director still ain't the boss, so I don't give you all the weight. But if you acting like, when you act like you the one who, you understand what I'm saying? Then people gonna expect if you act like you the man, people going to expect for you to do some, to exhibit some sort of control, some sort of decision making. Anyway, what up, Beto? How you? Yeah, Saigon did put out a post saying Ebro messed up his whole career. I saw that, and it was very eye opening to me. Like I don't know Saigon for being a liar. I know Saigon, right? You know what I mean? I do realize some of it was, I can say that some of it is in fact his assumption. He believed, it wasn't like Ebro ever admitted to, but it's his assessment of a situation. You know what I mean? But I don't doubt it. You know what I mean? According to, because people, humans are flawed. You know what I'm saying? People, we all say business ain't never personal, but that's a lie, B. It's a lie. It is, B. You know what I mean? If it's your opinion, let's just say if you don't like his song, if I don't like your song, that's personal. Right there, that's personal. Yeah, it's business, but it's business and it's personal. If I choose not to play your song, if it's because somebody told me not to play it, and I work for that said somebody, then yeah. But, you know, that would be business. But if it's my choice not to play your song, then that's personal. You know what I'm saying? Bang! What up, bro? How you? Yeah, he's talking my talk. I've been out the mix for a little bit, so I'm trying to catch up. I'm about to end this live, but I'm gonna come right back and I'm gonna talk about some more hot topics because, you know, y'all niggas love drama too much. I'm here to tell y'all why y'all should chill out just a little bit. I feel you, X. I mean, me too, but that's personal. You know what I mean? If I say I don't like it, but you say you do like it, aren't those both personal opinions? Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. You know what I'm saying? Taxpayers, citizens, leave us a super thanks or a cash app. Hit the merch links. All of that's going to be in the description. I'm gonna add it in a second, and then I'm coming back to talk about some more Diddy madness. All right, rock on, rock going.